Hey, what's going on, guys? Crass Businessman here. Today we're going to be answering the question, are big corporations a bad thing? The evil secret of big business. Today's quote of the day is, a lot of people think big business in America is a bad thing. I think it's a really good thing. Most people in business are ethical, hardworking, good people, and it's a meritocracy. And that quote is from Steve Jobs. So, are big businesses a bad thing? I mean, with the significant increase in the related memes that try to say yes, is it really? If you break it down to its core, what even is a big business? Definitionally, it's an institution that employs more than 500 people. And from a logical standpoint, honestly, the size of something has no correlation to its morality or ethics. Is a group of 5 people somehow more or less moral than 1 or 2 people? No, because it has nothing to do with that. So I want to approach this from a couple of different directions. Because I constantly hear people trying to characterize big businesses and their founders as these cartoonishly evil Scrooge characters that are just like, more profits and fuck the people, while they take a dive into the swimming pool full of gold coins. Which, side note, would hurt like shit.
Ah! It's not a liquid! It's a great many pieces of solid matter that form a hard floor-like surface! Ah!
But let's say for the sake of argument that this is true. The same people complaining that these big businesses are just these heartless profit machines also try to say that these businesses are just firing good, hardworking people for seemingly no reason. Which, in the history of everything, this has never in the history of ever happened ever. And let me explain why. These ridiculous scenarios of these big bad businesses firing the innocent, hardworking family man, why aren't we analyzing why they got fired? Or at least eliminate the least likely reason? Because as a business owner, if I was experiencing turmoil, whether it be economically or whatever, and I needed to either fire or lay somebody off, would it make sense to fire my best guys first? No. I'm going to analyze who's expendable and fire the shit turds first, just like any other sane person would do. Because if a business's sole purpose was to make money, which there's really nothing inherently wrong with that as long as it's not acquiring the money through unethical means, why the fuck would they fire the best, most hardworking people? They wouldn't, because turnover is expensive, training is expensive, paying out unemployment and wrongful termination lawsuits are expensive. So if it was solely after profits, it would have the least amount of turnover because of all the resources required to hire new people. Even at Jack in the Box, they have a week-long video training before you even start. That's a week's worth of wages that they're willing to pay you for doing nothing that actually gets them any money. So let's look at it from another angle. Take a look around you. Literally 98% of the shit you see couldn't have been accomplished without big business. Not even your kid's crudely drawn, green, self-themed Crayola masterpiece could have been accomplished without the paper manufacturer and the crayon company. See, large companies are what make things possible. Think about a society in which you have one guy or like a small group of 5 guys responsible for making refrigerators for 10,000 people. They just wouldn't have the capacity to churn out that much demand in a timely manner. And it would be so fucking expensive. They would be likely way less uniform and look completely different from unit to unit. Since they aren't mass-produced, the problems would probably be very hard to identify, making troubleshooting and repairs take substantially longer. These guys wouldn't have the capital to do R&D and testing that large manufacturers should. Since they use Freon, now they'd be introducing a health risk because big business is bad. Look at your smartphone. Do you know how to build one? When I say build one, I don't mean like taking other parts that other people make. I mean like putting it together, no shit, making every single one of the components. Do you have the plastic injection molds to make the case? Do you know how to make plastic? Do you know circuitry at that level? See, without big business, it's useless anyways because you wouldn't have cell towers. Unless you wanted to, mine your own ore and get the raw metals and then smelt them down and then build the towers yourself. But that's likely a 50-year project for a singular person to build. Do you even have a desire to build it anyways? No. Most of us, no. And that's the freedom you get when you have big business. Not everybody needs to be a farmer. Not everybody needs to purify their own water because big businesses with the capacity to do so can do it faster, cheaper, and better. Everything from your shoes to wherever you source your food, AC units, the servers making it possible to watch this YouTube video are all only possible with big business. So you can either live like the Amish, very simple, or understand that big business is the only way that we can have modern conveniences and that you can appreciate the freedom that comes as a result. That's about it for this video, guys. Once again, I'm Crass Businessman. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and share with your friends. And until next time, stay productive.